right, friends, one more video we're going to be shooting up here in Big Bear. Man, it's a beautiful, absolutely stunning day. I think it's like 71 degrees out here. There's obviously a pretty healthy breeze, so hopefully the audio is not getting butchered here. But one of the final reviews I'm going to be shooting up here today, and it's one that I've gotten a lot of requests on. How have these Sonmez tents held up? Many of you have gone even to the extent of noticing I've not taken out, which I mentioned in a previous video, I hadn't taken out the yellow or the big red one, the 480 Maxima, in some time. And I, as disclosed in that last video, the Maxima has a slow leak I've been trying to track down and so forth. And so that's why you don't see that one. But anyway, what we will do is we'll cover, this is the London 360 Discover. This is an 8 to 10 person tent, or they call it an 8 to 10 person. Honestly, depending upon your comfort level and how chummy you want to be with your pals, yeah, you could probably fit 8 to 10 people in there, but it's going to be a snug fit. Now, 4 people with bunks, yeah, 2 people with a bunk, you're living like a king. A single person, this is a New York City style apartment, about 108 square feet. Now, I will say this. The weight of this is not for everybody. It's like 132 pounds. That's one of the more common questions I get quite often is, what about the weight? Even the maximum, that is close to 180 pounds. Now that's a beast. That is borderline backbreaker if you're doing it solo and so forth, which is what I'm doing most of the time with that. But this one, hands down, I have to say, I have 3 of these Sonmez tents. I have their smaller Discover, and then this one right here. And this one, hands down, I've had this one the longest, and it is my favorite. I absolutely prize this tent right here. So it's perfect for when I want to get out on a solo trip, or even with my son and so forth, because it's, for me, the 132 pounds, while it is a little chunky, it's very manageable, and I just love the size, the openness of this tent. So with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the questions that many of you have asked, and that is, we're going to focus on just the yellow one right here. We'll have a subsequent video coming out on the 480 once I get that leak squared away. But anyways, we're going to focus on this one right here. I'm going to point out the things I like and dislike, things that are showing a little bit of a age, and that's it. We're gonna walk around with this one right here. So one of the questions that frequently comes up is, how is it to keep clean? Well, as you can see here, the yellow looks really well. I've washed this a few times. The plastic, it does get a little wrinkly, and so you lose that clear, looking out a glass feeling at night sometimes, especially. Now today, with it sitting out in the sun, some of these lesser wrinkles will start coming out a little bit. It'll look pretty good here shortly. But anyways, getting back over here, as you can see, this is the smaller of the 2 side windows here, only because you have your chimney coming out of here. And this is, again, one of the things I absolutely love with these Sonmez tents. You have the material and what they use, the craftsmanship is absolutely spectacular. This is a very heavy duty bug screen that they have on all their tents. Now, I will say this, winter camping, so again, this is my 2nd year with this tent. What I will say is, when you get out in winter, this becomes obviously much hard. It's not as pliable as it is right now, where it's nice and warm and hot and so forth. So getting it closed all the way down and sealed sometimes, requires a little attention. Now, I do love that they have these handles here on each side, which makes moving this thing around pretty easy. On the front of it, you have, and this is also going around, you have all these tie downs all around. And today, arguably, it's very windy. You can see now it's funny because the wind was coming this way before, and it was like pushed this way. Now it's coming this other direction, so you can see that's kind of following with the wind. So I should have it tied down, but these things are pretty resilient to wind to begin with. Okay, let's go around to the front. I absolutely love these big windows. I would almost like to have screens on these front windows as well. They just have the screens on the side, the big side windows. Now, granted, you have this big door on each side, and both of the doors have obviously the panel that comes down, so you can actually have some privacy in there as well. So, I mean, yeah, you have that, but still, I would love to have a screen option with these. On each side, you have these vents, and you have the little Velcro thing that kind of pushes it out and so forth. One thing I do, speaking of which, I would, because in the wintertime, you have no way of closing that up, and you want to have oxygen running through anyway, but, you know, still, oh, there we go, the wind's shifted again, so now it's leaning that way. But anyway, it would be nice to be able to close that up where you don't need all that air coming in during the winter months as well. The bottom of these, you have this durable rubber PVC material here. I'm not even sure what it is, but it's for the base of the tent. It does really well, and I prefer it with this one here, especially with the yellow, so therefore any sort of dirt and debris, you know, kind of hides it. And if it rains, you know, the splash only goes up so far. But anyway, coming around to the other side, and we'll go inside of this in a minute, but this is your big window here, and you can see I have the plastic rolled down, and so it's all stuck by Velcro, as I pointed out on the other side. And then you have those little anchor points that you just snap it up into place. But again, it is a big, beautiful tent. Now, coming over to the backside here, and we have the Sparks Overland. This is the gas heater. Speaking of second season, this is my second season. We'll have a video coming out on that here shortly. This is an absolute rock star. This thing saved my bacon last night because the Breg wood stove, which again you'll see in a second when I get inside there, that's a brand new Breg wood stove. I was so excited to get up here and test it out, and I noticed there was a lot of fire rangers driving around when I first got here, and it turns out there was an incident, and I called the fire department before firing that thing up. No pun intended. And just wanted to check to see if it's okay to, you know, use a wood stove. And they shared with me that they had a fire up here, something that happened up here. So no wood stove yet. And it got down to 35 degrees last night. And so the Sparks Overland, the gas heater. Now they have a diesel heater and they have a gas heater. They both function quite the same. And when you crack them open, they kind of look the same as well. Actually, their diesel ones have yellow fittings in it and so forth, but that kept the tent nice and comfortable throughout the night. So glad I brought that along. Okay, back towards where we were right here. So the other side of the tent here, this is one of the other cool things. You have this awning, and it comes out like 6 feet or something like that. And again, like the other side, you have this flange, this kind of fabric-y flange that goes around the door. So this is great for if it's raining and it's not keeping water coming down onto your screen and so forth. And like the other side, you have all these anchor points, so you can actually hunker fasten the tent from the base down onto the ground. And then, of course, this is the optional mat, and I highly recommend you always get that, because especially with a yellow tent like this, it's going to keep it clean longer and keep it off the ground, so when you're packing it away. And this is, I intentionally left some of the curtains down, so you can see these right here, the curtains are down, so you can see the amount of privacy. It's at night, it's closed up pretty well. Okay, now let's jump into the tent. So you can see it is quite, again, 108 square feet you're getting here. Oh, there's a horsefly there. I got to keep an eye out for that guy. Those things hurt when you get bit by those. Anyways, okay. 108 square feet inside of here. You have, especially for 1 to 2 people, you have lots of room in here. Again, you could fit 4 people in here with bunk beds and remain comfortable. But you know, my take on it, you want to you know, 1 to 2 people is going to be extremely, you're loving life inside of here. Okay, so as you can see, you have these massive air chambers that come around, and that is what's giving this tent its structure, in all the Sonmez tents, its structure. The one thing I admire about Sonmez is, unlike some of the other companies out there that use a smaller diameter chamber, and as a result, they don't hold up to wind, or if you do get some snowfall, it just doesn't hold up. Now, granted, this is not, you know, once you get enough snow on top of this, this will crumble. I've not had it happen to me, but I've seen or heard of it happen and so forth. But again, that Sonmez, as I was mentioning outside, they didn't skimp on the material and the quality of stuff that they use to put these tents together, and you pay for it. And so, but that's good. They're giving you, you want a Ferrari, you're going to get a Ferrari. Now, on the inside, you can see how these windows roll up. That's fantastic. One of the things that I absolutely, and here's that other window there. So it's like a trifold that allows you to roll all of them up or roll each individually up, depending upon how much light or visibility you want with nature. And this is one of the things I admire about this tent as well. When I get out camping, I want to be, like many of you, I want to be plugged in with nature. I want to see nature. I'm looking out through these windows right here, and I love that I'm immersed. I feel part with nature. And, oh, there's the new Breg stove there. Unused. I cannot wait to use that bugger. It is a beauty. I've been using Breg fireplaces or wood stoves for a number of years, and boy, this is a brand new medium, and they did a phenomenal job on that. I mean, it's just, I'm not going to get too far off, but I mean, that is such, the craftsman is so amazing. Anyways, if you enjoy cold weather camping, pick up a Breg wood stove. They have actually a few different models there. But anyways, and speaking of which, so you can see, you have the stove jack. Now, when you first get your tent, you're going to have to cut the hole out and for your chimney to go on through. And then, of course, you have this Velcro part that goes down. And this is all, of course, fire retardant material and so forth. And here's what I'm talking about, the vents there. So again, this is the other vent. You have a little zipper here so you can reach out there and fidget around with it if you need be. One of the things now that we're on this side here, one of my earlier videos I spoke about, I love that they had these little D-rings in here, because I stick my lights on there, and this is one that I keep in here because it has a thermometer on it. But this one right here, it no longer moves. So it's almost like it's melted in place there. So it no longer, see, with these you can swivel. This one no longer does, and I don't dare, being a inflatable tent, I don't dare put too much pressure on it because I don't want it to rip out of there. But anyways, yeah, here you go. You can see how that works. But anyway, and you have these all over the place. And when I'm by myself, I'll usually have just a cot in here, and I'll put it right next to here because you have this organizer. And for me, I keep all of my stuff that I want to have next to my head. So whatever firearm I have, I usually have some knives, flashlight, air horn to keep Yogi away. So I like that. I like that storage unit right there. It's right next to my head, and I can keep car keys, batteries, flashlights, whatever I want, quickly and accessible. All right. What else do I want to point out in here? Oh, all right. So they have the projector screen, and I don't have it with me here, but that Velcros from right there down to the bottom there. So at night you can be sitting here. Well, actually, you'd be a little bit this way because the projector is going to be there, and you can be watching a nice movie inside of here. So with Sonmez thought of a lot of great creature comforts. Now, the floor in here, it's a heavy rubber PVC material, as I was trying to figure out on the outside there. I'll put it on the screen. Normally, I have a carpet inside of here, and testament to the reason why I have this. So later, I'm going to have to vacuum all this out. But I like having a carpet inside of it, because when I'm usually walking around barefoot inside of these things, and also it makes it easier to keep it clean and so forth. So there you go. This is the London 360 Discover by Sonmez. If you're looking for a tent that is going to give you a lot of extra space for a 1 to 2 person, 3 people, this is the one that I would highly recommend. Again, you can fit 8 to 10 people in here, but if you want comfort, you want something that's a little bit more manageable, it's not too heavy. Again, 132 pounds compared to a lot of tents on the market. It is heavy, but you're talking about a tent here that is, it's made from some very high-end materials. And so that quality does come with a price. That price, well, on 2 fronts, you have the price for the tent, and you have the price being what I was referring to as being the weight. So, but this is hands down, out of all the Sonmez tents that I've tested over the years, this is my favorite. And what I will do is I will put a link down below to some other videos. If you want to see some other videos that I've shot with this tent over the years, I will also put a link to where you can pick up one of these for yourself. And so, yeah, the yellow has held up really well. The tent has held up exceptional, and I very enthusiastically recommend this tent. If you have any questions with this tent or on any of the other items that we cover on this channel, let me know down in the comments down below. But with that said, friends, I will see you in the next video.